Federal Judge Eileen Cannon is at it again in the federal criminal case against Donald Trump in the Southern District of Florida for his willful retention of national defense information. Over the weekend, Judge Cannon issued the following paperless order. We always talk about these paperless orders that she does to try to screw around with the scheduling and make things complicated and delay things in order to try to help Donald Trump, but without making any substantive ruling so she won't get reversed by the 11th Circuit like she was back in 2022 when she unlawfully asserted equitable jurisdiction over the search warrant executed at Mar-a-Lago. Here's the paperless order issued this weekend. She says, on or before June 14th, 2024, Defendant Trump shall respond to the special counsel's motion for modification of conditions of release. Any reply in support of the motion shall be due on or before June 21st, 2024. So she's giving Donald Trump up until June 14th to respond. A reply from Jack Smith would be filed June 21, 2024, meaning she's probably not even going to make any rulings probably until the first or second week of July, thereby creating an extensive delay. And for all we know, if the past repeats itself, she may set a hearing sometime late in July and August. This is how she manipulates her docket. Just to remind you, what is this motion for modification of conditions about? You'll recall back on May 24th, Special Counsel Jack Smith filed essentially a gag order. It's referred to as a modification of conditions for release, where Donald Trump was lying and saying that the FBI and the DOJ tried to have Donald Trump assassinated in connection with the search warrant executed at Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump used the standard search warrant protocol regarding to the use of deadly force in connection with the search warrant that exists in every single search warrant in the United States. It's just the standard policy. So whether it's a search of Donald Trump's residence, a search of President Biden's Delaware residence by the FBI, which one took place, or if the FBI were to execute a search warrant in any other situation, this is the protocol they follow. But don't let the standard protocols get in the way of Donald Trump and the MAGA base lying and playing the victim. So they went around saying, oh, they're trying to kill me. Biden ordered my assassination. Merrick Garland ordered my assassination. Help me. We need to raise money off it. They tried to kill me. And he sent all of the fundraising emails out. And Special Counsel Jack Smith immediately filed a motion to modify the conditions of release, saying to Judge Eileen Cannon, you need to stop him from saying that. He's going to get FBI agents and DOJ agents and potentially witnesses and others killed by lying. If Donald Trump's violent supporters think falsely because of Donald Trump's lies that someone tried to kill them, they may take action, and the threats against us are real. So Jack Smith, on an expedited basis, filed on May 24th. Donald Trump then posted a day later, May 24th was a Friday, Donald Trump then posted over the weekend, deranged Jack Smith asked Judge Eileen Cannon in Florida for a gag order on me so that I cannot talk about all of the crimes he has committed, including the illegal, unconstitutional, and unwarranted raid of Mar-a-Lago. I guess they're hoping they can silence me from telling the truth, like the corrupt and highly conflicted judge in New York City has done. Gag orders have a very strong tendency to backfire, and if anyone should be gagged, it should be deranged Jack, who was recently caught doing very bad things, and I should be able to talk about that and everything else having to do with this hoax from which crooked Joe Biden was fully exonerated. As our editor-in-chief Ron Filipkowski writes, Trump makes another one of his mob boss threats innuendos towards Jack Smith. By the way, have you ever heard Jack Smith speak other than for like less than 2 minutes to announce when the indictment was actually brought? Jack Smith doesn't speak at all. Jack Smith speaks through his filings. Yet Donald Trump speaks every single day. Also, there is no gag order in this case preventing Donald Trump from saying anything right now about Special Counsel Jack Smith in the Mar-a-Lago document case. Even in the Washington, D.C. case where there is a gag order before Judge Tanya Chutkan, there's nothing that's stopping Donald Trump from saying anything about Special Counsel Jack Smith. But anyway, that's what Donald Trump posted the day after Jack Smith brought the motion. And then what did Judge Aileen Cannon do? You'll recall she issues a paperless order denying without prejudice Jack Smith's request for protection for the FBI and DOJ officers. And notice that it's denied without prejudice, which prevents Special Counsel Jack Smith from going to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. If it was with prejudice, then it would be a final order that could be appealed on an interlocutory basis. But without prejudice means Jack Smith can refile it. She did that very intentionally here as part of the broader plot that I'm explaining right now. It says paperless order denying without prejudice for lack of meaningful conferral the special counsel's motion to modify conditions upon release. Upon review of the motion, defendant Trump's procedural opposition and the attached email correspondence between counsel, the court finds that the special counsel's pro forma conferral to be wholly lacking in substance and professional courtesy. It should go without saying that meaningful conferral is not a perfunctory exercise. Sufficient time needs to be afforded to permit reasonable evaluation of the requested relief by opposing counsel and to allow for adequate follow-up discussion as necessary about the specific factual and legal basis underlying the motion. This is so even when a party assumes the opposing party will oppose the proposed motion, and it applies with additional force when the relief sought at issue for the first time in this proceeding and raised in a procedurally distinct manner than in the cited cases, implicates substantive and or constitutional questions. Because the filing of the special counsel's motion did not adhere to these basic requirements, it is due to be denied without prejudice, as she goes and says. So basically she's saying, Jack Smith, you should have spent a week or 2 weeks just chit-chatting with Donald Trump and Trump's lawyers, go back and forth, ask them what they think about the fact that Donald Trump may cause FBI agents and DOJ officials to be killed by Donald Trump's lying. You didn't go through that process, Jack Smith, that I want you to go through. And even though you made the request to meet and confer, Judge Cannon goes, I just think that's pro forma. I just think you did that just to act like you met and conferred. You need to do it meaningfully with the person who's out there potentially trying to kill you. So Jack Smith then refiles the motion. And here's the motion that Jack Smith files on May 31st. The government moves to modify the conditions. The government's request is necessary because of several intentionally false and inflammatory statements recently made by Trump that distort the circumstances under which the Federal Bureau of Investigation planned and executed the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago. Those statements create a grossly misleading impression about the intentions and conduct of federal law enforcement agents, falsely suggesting that they were complicit in a plot to assassinate him, and expose those agents, some of whom will be witnesses at trial, to the risk of threats, violence, and harassment. The court has an independent obligation to protect the integrity of the judicial proceeding and should take steps immediately to halt this dangerous campaign to smear law enforcement. And Judge Cannon's response to that request that she take immediate action was the paperless order I read at the beginning of this video. On or before June 14th, Donald Trump, you respond to this motion that's about the immediate threats and potential death threats directed at FBI and DOJ officials and witnesses. And then Special Counsel Jack Smith, get back to me June 21. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to rule. I'll deal with this at a later time, doesn't make a difference, mid-July, August, whenever. You see, that's what she's doing. So I always get asked these questions, and they're great questions, which is, why isn't Jack Smith appealing what Judge Aileen Cannon is doing? Why can't he go to the Court of Appeals and say, look, because This is one of the ways that Donald Trump, his lawyers, and Trump-appointed judges, MAGA judges who want to destroy our laws, destroy the judiciary like Judge Cannon does. This is how they manipulate it. Our laws require that there be a final order with prejudice in order to appeal. Appeal rights are very limited anyway on an interlocutory basis, meaning before there is a final judgment, and our law and the norms, which usually viewed that federal judges would be experienced and competent, give judges almost unfettered and full discretion over their scheduling and calendars. So when judges make things a scheduling matter, if they push things out for a very long period of time, that's not appealable. So if Jack Smith went to the 11th Circuit and said, look what's going on with the scheduling, the 11th Circuit would say, we really don't have jurisdiction to even address this. That's the lesson that Judge Cannon learned when she asserted equitable jurisdiction in the Trump search warrant issue, which was a separate case, and then she was overturned. The lesson that she learned was the wrong lesson, not let me follow the law. It was, oh, the mistake I made is that I issued a final order too quickly. If I just issue paperless orders and move everything into the future and not rule, no one can reverse a non-ruling. So that's how I could help him out. That's what she's doing right now. And you see a clear example of this right here. So I want to break it down for you what she's doing. And meanwhile, our law enforcement, our FBI, our DOJ, and other agents and officials, their life is on the line. And Judge Cannon could quite literally get somebody killed. That's who Judge Cannon is, though. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers thanks to your support. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe right now. Let's get to 3 million.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.